In this video, I'm going to remake this classic 80s toy, Castle Grayskull. It is impossible to get either version new or used for less than $1,000. So I'm going to make my own based on the original toy, even bigger and better.
What do we have here?
It's Castle Grayskull. And it's mine.
I feel like everyone and their dog had one of these. Let me know in the comments if you ever had one of these or if you still have one, oh my god. But it really is such an iconic and memorable toy and it's just screaming for an epic remake. So that's what we're gonna do. So using a bunch of printed up references, it's time to design my own Castle Grayskull based on the original. The re-release doesn't differ much aside from having a bit more detail, but there are a few key components that are present throughout. 2 towers on either side, a skull in the center with a helmet on top, craggy rocky terrain around the base. There's a lot more to Castle Grayskull than just the skull. As it turns out, there are different bones and appendages throughout the original design. There's vertebrae of a spine visible. There's large bones that could be femurs or hands. Finalizing my design by supporting the castle on a cliff made of different bones, supporting the structure of the castle, and garnished around the castle was obviously built on or around the corpse of this ancient deceased giant beast of some sort.
This toy comes with something that can really open up a kid's imagination. Its own legend.
He-Man!
I'm eager to get some feedback or approval from a very important special guest. And that's right, you know him and love him. I am pleased to welcome He-Man. Don't tell me he's late. G'day, He-Man? Why are you drinking beer at 11 in the morning? He-Man? Nah, mate, I'm He-Bloke. He-Bloke? I'm the Aussie version, so we get the budget version. Nah, mate, I'm just like the Aussie version of everything. A little bit more expensive and a lot more sloppy. Can you at least tell me what you think of my redesign of Castle Grayskull? Can you get off your phone? Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'll take anything. My lease is up in 2 weeks. So if it's ready by then, that'd be great. Great, okay, well, glad you like it.
Playing for the power of Castle Grayskull, you have to put the castle together.
So we're gonna jump into the blocking stage of Castle Grayskull, putting the core structure together. And because so much of it is built on bones, I was starting to look at this lovely set piece with some creative eyes. But it turns out I don't have to destroy him in the impulse for creativity because Amy literally has kept and been gathering skeleton parts. So I have everything I need to get started. I cut this medium rectangle of MDF that I'm going to be building up from. Now it's just a matter of emptying out my bag of bones and picking out the ones that I'm going to find most useful, and then starting the process of cutting and slamming together some foam to block out Castle Grayskull. This feels like a castle that's been weathering away over time. So I figured I'd probably get some more gnarly textures by hot foam cutting these rectangular pillars I put together into cylindrical shapes. It's worked out really well. I've got some really cool textures all up and down what will become the stonework of the castle. Now it's just a matter of constructing a castle out of these tubes by slapping together a whole bunch of foam. It's a bit of a haphazard process, as you can see, plenty of gaps and it's a bit rough around the edges, but this is all just the foundation. I'm going to be coming back to all of this and adding detail, filling in the gaps and sculpting stuff. I just need something to work on top of. Now, I'm not just making the castle, I'm making the mountain that I'm building the castle up from. So layering up 4 pieces of thick foam underneath in a rough shape that I can then carve out from, creating the craggy cliff faces and the suspended steps emerging from out of Grayskull's mouth. Last but not least, it's just a matter of creating a few other blocked out areas that we'll add detail to later, for the top of the turrets and the balcony on the front left tower. Now we're off to a really great start, but there is so much to do. Every brick on this castle needs to be hand sculpted, and there's a huge amount of other sculpting to do to really make this Castle Grayskull. So I don't know, I feel like I need a little bit of encouragement. What do you reckon, he bloke? Off to a good start? Hey, look at that. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. I mean, I am about to embark on a perilous quest. Aren't you going to tell me that I have the power or something encouraging? Yeah, sure. You know, have a go, mate. You got this. Great. Okay, thanks. I feel so empowered. I really could have used some actual encouragement for this next phase because, my God, hot carving out every single brick of this building is tedious work, which for some reason brings to mind the Count of Monte Cristo, where the main protagonist has been in jail for years and he's counted every single brick in his cell, but the guy who's been there even longer is like,
but have you named them yet?
by the end of this carving process, I feel like I'm about to start naming them and I'm going slightly insane. You know, at first I was wondering if a reference to Count of Monte Cristo is a bit dated, but then I remembered I'm working on a 40-year-old toy recreation, so I probably don't need to worry about that. Now that all the brickwork is there, I can sculpt and shape and carve everything to fit the very detailed foundation that I'm now working on top of. All of those gaps and all of those unsightly seams and bumps, this is my chance to fill them in and add the character and the detail that is going to bring Castle Grayskull to life. Now this stuff that I'm using here for all the sculpting work is called Epoxy Sculpt, and as you can see, it's given me the freedom to go in and add all these embellishments and details throughout the castle without it needing to be fussy foam work. And now for some final bits of detail around the whole piece, especially in the form of stick-onable windows, which I carve out of foam core board, roughly putting rock texture around the outside and filling the inside with textured popsicle sticks, which make perfect dressings to tack on around the castle to make it seem much more than blank walls. And let's not forget the missile turret. Anti-aircraft cannon, whatever it is, I have no idea, but it's on the toy, so our recreation gets one too. I just love the feeling of going from concept to reality. This is so exciting, and we're about to get to the painting step. I am loving this. What do you reckon, he bloke?
Stupid, sexy skeleton.
Absolutely useless. But you know who's not useless? That's the worst introduction ever. Amy!
Hi!
We have to tag team it because I have to get the base coat on all of this before the end of the day because I need to leave it overnight to dry and cure with all the sculpting stuff. It's in a base coat of Mod Podge and paint and all of the terrain in Sculpt-A-Mold and sand and paint. Because when I get to painting, I wanted to do some spray paint and that would eat away at the foam. But we need to get this down as fast as possible and we have about half an hour. So thanks, Amy. Let's jump into it. So the pair of extra hands make light work, but it needed to move fast. Amy was doing the base coat of the Mod Podge all around the backside of the castle areas, while I was applying the Sculpt-A-Mold all around the front. And with the generous layers of all of our base coats down and trying to scrape some of the paint out of the crevices until we could get the whole thing covered and tuck it aside in a warm room to dry.
This video is brought to you by the Customize It Kit, this year's most exciting kit for artists out there. Explode your creativity onto anything you can touch. Huge savings on a massive amount of fun art activities that will last you a lifetime. Make your own epic sketchbooks, tumblers, skateboards, sunglasses, pop sockets, toys, and limitless possibilities in the world around you. Get creative and make this year your own with the ultimate creative gift for yourself or a loved one. Visit this website on the World Wide Web.
We are back, it is dry, and it's ready for the final step, the paint job. What do you call this? Missing all the detail at the back. That's just shoddy workmanship, that is. Don't try and call me out, look at you. Oh yeah, what's that supposed to mean? You're not even a convincing knockoff. Hey, you don't even have a power sword. Do two? Bit small. So this is the treatment I get for coming to help. Oh, so you're here to help now. Okay, so forgive me if I don't feel like I can really trust you to do it because yesterday you were drinking all day until you passed out. So, mate, if there's anything he bloke can do, it's surprisingly competent work while hungover. You know what? Fine. Be my guest. All yours. Jeez. All right.
Let's fucking do this.
And so it's time for me, He Bloke, to step in and save the day. Using my masterful tradie skills and a lifetime experience of making it up as I go along, I use a bunch of spray paints all over Castle Grayskull to find a tone that I eventually rest on. The green coming out from the sky above and the reds from underneath, which will act as the foundation for the paint job to come. Few coats of different colours and dry brushing on top, and you can start to see it's all coming up pretty bloody good. Now, as much as we all know I would love to take all the credit for being the one to help out JAZZA, I'm not helping him out alone. The patrons, of course, have been a massive support to this guy, enabling him to make the most ambitious videos possible. So if you want to support JAZZA and He Bloke, go check out Patreon and see the epic behind the scenes, including this week's recent adventures of He Bloke. Link in the description. And last but not least, a little bit of greenery and brownery to bring it to life.
Skeletor has captured Castle Grayskull. We must stop his evil power. To Grayskull!
Skeletor is getting away!
But Castle Grayskull is safe with us. Nothing's safe while Skeletor is out there.
Alright, as annoying as He Bloke was, he really took it over the finish line in a way that I think looks pretty bloody cool. The whole approach has been to remake the classic Grayskull toy, and I think not only have we done that, but we've done it in a way that makes me feel like I'd like to see the whole He-Man universe and the Masters of the Universe stuff in this epic grimdark style. This was so much fun. I hope you've had as much fun as I have. If you have, please hit the like button, really helps out the channel, and subscribe for more fun with art and creativity. That's it. Thanks for watching. And I didn't do this. What's this? Is that a dunny? Hey, bloke!